Chapter 9: Cultural Conflict. Wanyenyekevu planted everything back into his backpack and went hunting for hunting a cold find as a meal. Tired of fish, he grabbed a few stones and headed along the pond looking for the first thing a cold find. After 30 minutes, he came across a rabbit. He paused for a moment to see if it spoke. A sigh of relief came over him. He washed and cleaned it as Wanyenyekevu sat on a log. He took out the stroll, learning his ancestry, and a very few minutes, the world turned the rabbit as the aroma thickened into the air. A very timid wind blew. The cold breeze stirred upwards within him, so he got up, reached for his notepad, and wrote the wind. You can't taste it, nor smell it, but it's there. The wind. You can't touch it, nor hear it, but it's here in the sphere. The wind. Where did it come from? Where is it going? What I don't know, it comforts in time of need, especially in the heart. The wind. That's something or someone I want to meet. The wind reminds me of someone special to me. That I can't say, but I know it is there. Can you guess what? Looking toward the sky, it's so blue. But the only I'm talking about is true. Clouds floating around with the rhythm, so true. Toss about only by the wind. Trees leaning back and forth, side to side, leaves dancing around. Squirrels racking up and down, playing in the wind. Wanyenyekevu smiled, planted everything in his backpack, ate his meal, and drifted off to sleep. The following day, Wanyenyekevu took the quick route through the woods and came upon an open field. Halfway through the field, he saw a ski draft past. The vehicle did not make a sound as it passed, but he hoped they did not see him. He sighed, the only way he didn't see me was if he wasn't looking. Just as he said that, the vehicle made a U-turn towards him. What now? He said to himself. Wanyenyekevu stood there as the craft approached. As it arrived, it hovered about 10 feet in front of him in the air. It slowly lowered to the ground, and seated on it was a very handsome man. Wanyenyekevu could not tell if it was a man or a woman at first. Hello. Wanyenyekevu hesitantly sighed. He heard Mlezi's voice. No, say it with your spiritual ears. The man quickly transformed into a hideous creature. The creature's feet looked like talons with very long legs. The body and head were on a giant blob with sores and blisters that had pus seeping out. It made his flesh crawl. He couldn't believe his ears. Wanyenyekevu got into a stance. What are you? The creature said, I am a Benian Omega Ondoa Tatu, 45, and you are a lucky man, for you shall be my slave, my pet for the rest of your life, so I may feed of you as you worship me. Wanyenyekevu threw 3 stars towards its head, and they just went straight through the creature. He tried to strike the beast, taking out his samurai, but the sword went straight through it. The beast laughed until Wanyenyekevu performed powerful roundhouse kick that hit the monstrosity in the middle of its face, and the creature let out a howling sound. Several more punches, and then it backed up. In a state of shock, the creature pulled out a sword and swung at Wanyenyekevu. He dodged the blade as he continued to attack, but the creature just cried out in pain. Yael suddenly appeared and yelled out to Wanyenyekevu. "Try this." A sword rushed toward Wanyenyekevu, and with great speed and timing, Wanyenyekevu punched the creature once more. Then he turned around, just in time to grab the sword from Yael and cut the beast in half. The blood pierced through the flesh like paper as Wanyenyekevu slit it from its head down to its legs. A puff of smoke appeared, and it covered Wanyenyekevu in black soot. Yael approached Wanyenyekevu, These are the beings that we have been training you for they are the fallen angels that follow Satan. Therefore, earthly weapons cannot harm them unless it is shielded by a special substance that the prophet shall provide. Wanyenyekevu had a strange look on his face, prophet. But Yael and the sword both faded away. However, Yael's voice could be heard saying, "Yes, he will be along shortly. Go now, and make your way to Sonheimer, and be the way. If you hadn't fogged in the spirit, it wouldn't have felt any of your blows." Wanyenyekevu hid the skicraft and continued his journey, passing par road 1122 to par road 1116 until he reached Higwai 65 and Sonheimer Loop Road. At a distance, Wanyenyekevu saw a man waving as he approached a structure that looked like an old barn. Another test. He said to himself as the man approached. Wanyenyekevu noted that the man had a unique dark olive-brown skin tone as he smiled at Wanyenyekevu. "God. Die, my friend, I am Ib, and welcome to Sonheimer." Wanyenyekevu smiled back and tried to say if the man's heart was genuine, but he could feel nothing. "May I offer you a meal? Or maybe a plate to rest a bit?" Wanyenyekevu smiled again, Sura. In the middle of town, there was a large canopy where a man sat down and ate. "Please sit down, and the meal is on me. Don't worry about a thing, for we are Wakatilians and are always glad to see another brother." Wanyenyekevu took a seat and smiled at all those that looked his way. He platted the meal before him, and they both ate and talked. "Let me show you our community before you head off on your journey." Wanyenyekevu was full and did not want to be rude, so he smiled again, Sura. "Thanks." Whipping his mouth and hands and pushing his plate in front of him, Wanyenyekevu grabbed his things, and they walked further into town. "I'm a single man, and I looked forward to the day I shall settle down and raise a family, and you?" Before Wanyenyekevu could speak, two women approached in opposite directions, and Wanyenyekevu looked one of them in the eyes, nodded his head to say hello, and smiled. After the woman had passed, the one in which he smiled grabbed Wanyenyekevu around the neck as she shocked him with a stun gun behind the rigged arm, chain his back. She then tried to shock him in the groin area, but he moved, and it hit his upper thigh. The pain was so great that it knocked him to his knees. As he looked up, men surrounded him. Wanyenyekevu looked at Ib. "What have I done wrong to be treated like this?" Ib stood there and did not say a word. The men rushed Wanyenyekevu against a nearby wall and held him down. "What have I done wrong?" Wanyenyekevu repeatedly asked, and the men said nothing. They took Wanyenyekevu's belongings and left them against the wall as they waited. After a while, a muscular man approached with a book in hand. He signaled and they rushed Wanyenyekevu into a building, chaining his hands into a ring made of steel. Moments later, a tall man entered the room. "Why are you here?" demanded the man. He was just walking through, and he saw Ib. The man leaned against Wanyenyekevu with a metal object, causing him great pain. "Ib," the man interrupted. "Ib is a fool, and doesn't know his left from his right. You have come for our woman, haven't you?" Wanyenyekevu said in a low voice. He only acknowledged the young lady's presence and smiled. That was it. It wasn't anything more than that. Besides, are we not all Wakatilians? Even if he was, what would be the problem? Are we not all blood? Are we not kin? The man became furious, slapping Wanyenyekevu, and almost breaking his arms with the metal object, saying, "We are a different breed than you. We can have your woman but not procreate. but you and your kind are not worthy to touch the skin of our women. Let alone look into their eyes. Wanyenyekevu ten become mad, ten there is no why, you are wakatilians but fools. With your backwards hypocrisy, you are only an enemy of your own people. You miget as well be anakatas. Just then, the man yelled something wanyenyekevu could not understand, and a small group of men came and threw wanyenyekevu into the back of makeshift vehicle. Lying there tied up, wanyenyekevu locked up. All he could say were the trace and soon to his erst as the vehicle drove. The vehicle stopped after 20 minutes. Moments later, 4 men grabbed wanyenyekevu, and they all walked toward a great waterfall. 5 more men met them. There were 4 men on each side and a man behind him. As wanyenyekevu looked down, he measured it at least 1,000 feet below. The men taunted wanyenyekevu as they walked him near the edge. There was a metal pipe that separated them from the edge. On a man's side, your death will be quick and painless, as a laughed. Wanyenyekevu resisted by pulling back with his legs as they pulled forward, saying, No is the time of your death, and not mine. Wanyenyekevu anticipated their moves. Once the men tried to push him over, he stopped resisting, grabbing the pipe while jumping toward the edge. Using their own force and gravity, they hurled themselves over the edge while he hung onto the metal railing as the men fell to their death. Wanyenyekevu quickly flipped over the pipe, killing the rest of the men while his hands were still bound. Wanyenyekevu took a seat on the ground, rubbing the bruise on his arms, trying to understand what had just happened. Heading back, he noticed a sign, parud 1116 Sunday Merlop Road. Scratching his side, he mumbles, didn't say this sign. Hand still shackled and his mind perplexed until he walked upon a sign that said, Welcome to Sunday Mer, Louisiana. Wanyenyekevu walked through the town, it looked as if no one had been there for many years. He reached the structure where they held him hostage, but it was abandoned and barely standing. He continued, saying his backpack as he bent down to get it. Mlezi and Yael appeared. Manuel come and say that they are your brother or sister, but their hearts will be far from it. They shall deceive many with Thessalies. Taking but never giving. Using you for profit but not caring for you at all. There will be many wise they shall try to deceive us about children. This will be one of the many wise, remember this. Stay here for the night. A campfire instantly appeared with a hammock and food already prepared as Mlezi continued speaking. For you shall find rest and peace until you reach your last and final stop in Tallulah. Take your time and absorb the words and events that have happened today. Just be in Tallulah tomorrow before the sun sets. Wanyenyekevu held up his hand because they were still shackled as he held his hand up. Kay disappeared as well, but the bruises were still there. Wanyenyekevu just stood in a daze while thinking about everything that had happened to him. Everything felt real. The words of the tall man bothered him so that he recalled the history of the betrayal during slavery and segregation, the injustices endured during the civil rights movement, and even the Trump era as he wrote, black or white. Our blood is red, yet we feel that we are greater than each other. We all die, though some of us think we're immortal. It's all because of the skin we're in, that makes us sin. Black or white? It doesn't matter. We all must live, we all will die. Anything other than that is just a lie. True, I love me own, but even this talk to me. Ashamed of me own as a youth. I was taught that, I bought that. Believed that. But then he found the hard proof that he was of royalty. But back then, he just wanted to run and hide. Because he was told another lie. They said he was a savage, a nigger, that he was a nobody. Then he found out he was somebody. Not because of my skin, but because of the sun. Black or white? Was the greatest? None. But the sun. Wanyenyekevu realized he had 24 hours to get to Tallulah, so he related and got caught up on some reading. Taking out his Torah, he read the book of James, which was his favorite, and finished by reading a few passages from the book of Acts and Revelations. The sun began to set, so he gathered some wood for the fire and finished up the stroll Mlezi gave him. His mind was writing again as he took out his notepad and wrote, after death. What should he expect after death? A parade or a party? All that doesn't matter to me. What do you do with the eggshells, after you have gotten the egg? Same here, what I want to know is where my soul will go. That's more important to me, that is what I want to know. Often thinking about my life after death, it brings questions without answers. Will I be taken to heaven? Will I lift me eyes in hell? Even now, while I have a life in this body, I often imagine death. When I'm taken from this world to enter the next. I know there are many out there that don't believe in life after death. There are many out there that believe they will be reincarnated after death. The word tells me. After death, there is judgment. I believe that everyone has a soul. After death, that soul needs somewhere to go. Do me a favor, go out into the woods or some place where it's neat and quiet. Look around, listen to the sounds. Now imagine that you don't have a body, no feelings, not with the human touch, with your eyes, only travel into space, flee until you have seen all you want to say. No stop, look at the time, it's plain to say. You have traveled to eternity, a place without time. Now imagine what will it be like. After death. He wrote, "My Holy Ghost. What is this in my hands? That got me shaking like a leaf. What is this in my feet? That got me dancing like a crazy man. Feeling like David, I can't control the way I act. It feels like a fire shoot up in my bones. What is this speech that falls out of my mouth? My native language? Oh Lord, what is wrong? You got me speaking in tongues. Never thought I would feel this way, never thought I would act this way, until this wonderful day. They said I was a beast. They said I didn't have a soul. God has touched me, has made me whole. Who made everyone a liar. Yes, this love I have, the world didn't give it to me. It can't be taken away. I'm not trying to boast, I just need to tell somebody about this spirit. This man named my Holy Ghost. He wrote angels. We all know of the great fall. The only that took on a third of the angels from that great place called heaven. Listening to the great deceiver, because of him we have non-believers. When they fell, they were transformed from beings of beauty into beasts. Monsters, when seen with the naked eye. They look upon us and wonder, what are these beings, that they can choose between good and evil? Knowing where they will be going, unaware of the fact, they, too, had the same choices. They made theirs, a long time ago. So in hell, they will lift up their eyes, without any surprise. Some here on earth, not all, are jealous too, and refuse to let anyone else go up above. So their job, in their means, is to take as many of us as they can. They had a job that we can only imagine. They have met people we only dream of. They were not always demons, they were angels. He wrote, God is mighty. Ra had no grave, for he never existed. Zeus had no grave because he was the same way too. But God is mighty. Isis, Neptune, those who believed in them, were blinded by darkness. Molech, Baal, some still do worship. But God is mighty. Muhammad has a grave, and he's still there. Jesus had a grave, he's no longer there. Listen, where his body once laid, there is a sign that says, he has risen. God is mighty. No longer is there a reason to fear death. Life is no everlasting through him. Tote only one who had a grave but no is missing. Some say they took his body, but to me, that is just folly. Because God is mighty. Finally, he wrote, religion. The Holy Ghost is mi guide, he guides me heart when I stray, he touches me when I pray. He's on me mind all the time. When I'm asleep, even when I wake, however, religion is man-made. Meaning, they talk the truth, and added things to it, to fit their own wise. Their own needs and wants. So, they can justify when they lie. When they steal. When they kill. But they have a surprise waiting for them on the day they die. As time went by, they called it law. No, you can't treat a religion, just as Congress to pass a bill. I'm going to be straightforward about this case. Please spread it to the human race. You say, religion is not my forte. I'll say again, it's man-made. Spirituality has no beginning, no end. That's why many who think in the flesh find it hard to comprehend. Hard to believe. Everyone has his or her own direction, no two are the same. No debate, no hate. So how can you say, I can't do this or that? I can't say this or that. When it's you that can say and do either this or that. Just say when you do this, it makes you feel this way. When you say that, it makes you feel that way. It makes you feel good. Then I will agree. But not for me, can't you say? Stop trying to give me the blues, because it's you that's being untrue. Let me do the things that I do. If I disagree with that thing, it's me that does wrong. If I felt me conscience say, no, this is wrong. So then I did sin. Against myself, against God. We chose our own dynasty. Our destiny. Individually. That's why the people in the world were special. They knew for themselves, didn't pay attention to anyone else. Can't you say that's the key? To spirituality. Not religion.